have a question here. So if you look here, they don't really have any clothes, do they? So how do they survive the winter? They can't just survive with them blankets. What's going on, guys? Your boy RedpillCanuck back again with another YouTube video. Shout out to the Canuck Squad for being involved and being active on this YouTube channel. And happy Turkey Day to all my brothers across the border. Of course, we're playing the national anthem of the US of A. Shout out to all my American bros. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Of course, we had our Thanksgiving. I want to fade that out, but it is what it is. We had our Thanksgiving last month, and of course, you're having yours today. So happy Turkey Day to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully you have a lot of turkey and a lot of whatever you guys eat on Thanksgiving. I don't know. I'm not really a turkey guy, but you know what? It is what it is. Some people like that bird. Oh, yes. That big ass turkey. Of course, I got turkey on my desk here. I figure, you know what? Why not get into the festivities? Why not do a Thanksgiving episode? But of course, this episode is going to have a lesson like all my episodes usually do. And no, I am not going to be doom and gloom. I'm going to give you the cold, hard facts. But there's going to be a nice lesson rolled up into it. But of course, before we begin today's episode, shout out to our sponsor, as always, RedpillCanuck.com. That's www.redpillcanuck.com. Our daily pill where we get all our news articles, podcasts, financial news, and home of our latest addition to our series, Dear RPC, where you, the viewer, you, my YouTube family / Spotify family / well, whatever platform y'all see me on, you're a part of my family. Shout out to you. Where you, the viewer, write in and we give our professional advice to y'all. But of course, we ain't professionals. Nope, but we do try to give our professional advice. I give the advice I would give to my own family and friends, which is cold, hard facts. Pause. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. And if you're listening on one of our alternative podcasts or platforms, shout out to everybody on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Thank you for joining me while your turkey is being made and while there's no football games right now. So I don't even think there's actually, I think it's like 2 football games today. But anyway, I'm not really a well, actually, yeah, I do watch a little bit of college ball, but you know what? Of course, you know what I watch it for. Oh, yeah, them young cheerleaders on the yard line. Woohoo! Anyway, so let's get into today's episode. Happy Turkey Day again to you all. Today's episode is the real Thanksgiving and what we can learn from our past. Now, there's a few articles, of course, I have because I come with cold, hard facts, pause. But we're going to play a little bit of a video first of the meaning of Thanksgiving. And shout out to Kids Academy. They actually have a channel here on YouTube. Shout out to them. Of course, we're going to have to run our good old fair use as usual. And where is our fair use? Why do I lost my fair use again? Where'd my fair use go? Okay. Fair use. The last time I actually did this, my fair use went missing. Okay, what is oh boy. Okay. Something is definitely going on here. Okay. Listen, this is early in the morning. I'm recording this for you guys, and I can't find my fair use. Where is my fair use? Okay, you know what? I don't think we actually have to do, we'll probably skip fair use today because oh, there we go. Shout out to fair use and shout out to Sherry. There we go. Sherry just came to the show. Hello, Sherry. You left me the last episode And of course, I have multiple things scrolling on the screen here. But of course, let's do our fair use while we got it up. Experts' copyrighted material can be quoted verbatim for the purpose of teaching, criticism, reporting without need or permission or payment to the copyright holder. Shout out to fair use. And let's see if we can actually get rid of fair use. And I guess Sherry's going to stay with me for the episode. Sherry, you going to stay with me, my dear? You going to stay with your boy here? Seriously? Not even Sherry wants to stay with me. This episode is already off the rails, and I can't get rid of my disc. Why can't I get rid of my disc? Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're just gonna leave it the way it is now. Too many buttons all over the place. Total chaos this morning. But again, so let's start from the beginning. This is how this episode is going today. Yep. A total train wreck. Car crashed. Yep. Anyway. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to start off with this video here. So this is actually a kind of a synopsis on how they teach children what the first Thanksgiving was like. And I thought this was very interesting. And I'm kind of glad they kind of taught it this way, because when we think of Thanksgiving, what do we think of? We think of family, we think of togetherness, we think of reminiscing about the past and what we're thankful for. Me personally, I like that thought. Of course, Thanksgiving is not really what that was, but let's play the video here. Let's roll the film. And again, we did our fair use, and let's roll the film. Of course, very wholesome.
Hello, boys and girls. Let's talk about Thanksgiving, which is a very important holiday in America. On this day, we watch parades, decorate our houses, and have a big family dinner.
Yeah, by the way, this turkey, it smells really good. Anyway, continuing. It's too bad parades are not really like that in reality. Like, I don't know. This parade, it's something I would probably watch, but the parades y'all have now, you know, I think they call it the Macy's Day Parade. I don't know who's running the parade now. There's always some sort of malfunction. Like, you have balloons falling apart. Bruh. You have people crowding up. And I don't know. This seems, but there's hardly look like there's anybody here. But anyway, continuing.
But do you know where this holiday came from? Let's learn more about the first Thanksgiving Day.
Fair use.
Many years ago, in 1620, a group of brave Englishmen got off their ship in America. They were called Pilgrims.
To think you would be traveling, these guys look miserable, don't they? Okay, maybe because they've been traveling and they're hungry, I'll give them that. But yeah, you think if you're taking a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. Okay, to all my old heads out there, that's actually from Gilligan, okay? Was it a 3-hour tour or a 6-hour tour? I can't remember. Anyway, continuing. Fair use. Okay, did the narrator... Oh, there we go. I thought the narrator just went away for coffee. By the way, I do have to kind of interject to this video every few minutes because of fair use, and I want to get hit with a copyright. Even though I do have fair use on here, it doesn't always work, so I kind of interject. So that's why I'm not playing it through. So anyway, continuing.
Cold winter, and they did not have enough food. Many people got very sick. When the spring came, the pilgrims had to learn how to feed themselves.
Okay, so I have a question here. So if you look here, they don't really have any clothes, do they? So how do they survive the winter? They can't just survive with them blankets here. So did they hunt? Did they, I don't know, get fur from somewhere and make some sort of clothing to protect themselves from the elements? Because I doubt this blanket and this little smock here is going to protect you from this weather that was here. Look at this weather. And this guy's wearing some Pink Panther Inspector Gadget trench coat. I doubt this is keeping his ass warm. But anyway, just pointing it out. Continuing.
When the spring came, the pilgrims had to learn how to feed themselves.
Okay, but I have a question here. By the way, fair use. You had to figure out how to feed yourself. So what were you doing for the winter and what were you eating? Like, what were you eating all that time? Like, there was nothing really to grow in the wintertime because the soil would have been hard. Now you're starting to grow. Now you're thinking about food. But anyway, continuing.
Native Americans showed them how to grow plants such as corn. Native Americans were the people who had long lived in America.
You got Pocahontas there.
They knew how to survive and grow food on this land.
Shout out to Pocahontas.
In the fall, the pilgrims gathered a big harvest. This means that they had plenty of food to eat.
Now, you know what? Honestly, I would love if this was actually, how it went. I'm pretty sure it kind of went on the lines of this because you see teamwork here and whatnot, which I'm glad they're teaching this version to children because it'd be bad to teach the other version. And I kind of feel sorry for that turkey because he's looking. Look at that poor turkey. He's like, hopefully they stay vegetarians because, yeah, the last thing I need is this here. These damn white folk are gonna take me. They're gonna take me out. I lived with these natives for years, and they left me alone. They just ate their corn and pumpkin and maize and wheat. They left me alone. Gobble 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 gobble. Continuing.
They decided to have a fancy dinner. Their Native American neighbors were invited to the celebration.
Oh, God. I told you that turkey, that poor turkey was worried. And she's just proud. Poor bird. Let's have a moment of silence for the poor turkey who lost his soul for the first Thanksgiving. Yep, poor bird. I shouldn't really talk. I got a turkey in front of me, but anyway, it is what it is. Continuing.
The pilgrims were thankful that they had settled in a new place and started a new life. Since then, Americans come together on Thanksgiving to celebrate the things that they are thankful for.
You would hope.
Family, food, shelter, and good health are just a few things that many people give thanks for on this day.
Okay, well, you know what? Shout out to them. It was a nice video. They got straight to the point. But, poor turkey. He looked worried. He looked worried before he got axed. But anyway, so that's how you would think that Thanksgiving was. When I was in school, that's what I kind of learned. I didn't really learn as in depth about, about the pilgrims being sick and whatnot. But we basically just learned about, okay, they came to another part of the world and they met the natives and, that basically was it. But we would only hope that was the way it went. So another article decided to come out, ironically yesterday, the eve of our, or you guys' Thanksgiving. The truth behind Thanksgiving is a bloody one, and some people say it's time to cancel the holiday. Now, I understand probably it wasn't the way it was, as they said in the cartoon. But you know what? The message, I like the message, honestly. I do like the message of people coming together and realizing what they're thankful for. But some people have to look at the past and how it really happened, which I totally understand. I totally understand that, because you never want to sugarcoat an event and forget about the people that's lives were lost. And the whole, because you know what, honestly, history is not always roses and peaches and strawberries. There are some turds that are involved as well. Yeah, people lost their lives. People weren't always as they seem. Because you see in the video here, everybody's like smiling and stuff. And look at, okay, yeah, they don't look like they're smiling. But right here, you see how the Indians and the pilgrims are just chilling. And you're like, they're bringing them food and ish. They probably did that. I wouldn't be surprised. And, you know, everybody's working together. You would think and you would want that to be true. I'm pretty sure part of it is. But these guys want to bring some doom and gloom. By the way, it's not doom and gloom RPC today. It's doom and gloom Insider. So don't come after me. Pause. These guys are going to lay it down here. By the way, I don't think I remember doing a Thanksgiving skit like this. See, in Canada, it's a little bit different. But anyway. So let's look into the article here. There we go. Thanksgiving in the U.S. is traditionally a time for family and food. American school children typically learn that the tradition dates back to the Pilgrims, who helped establish Plymouth Colony in 1620 in what was now Massachusetts. Shout out to everybody in Massachusetts. I can never say that right. There's too many T's and too many S's. Like, you guys got too many words in your states. But anyway, continuing. As the story goes, a friendly Native American taught struggling colonists how to survive in what Europeans called the New World. Then everyone got together and celebrated a feast in 1621. Thanksgiving 2020 of 22 would mark the 401st anniversary of the first American Thanksgiving. But in reality, Thanksgiving feast predates Plymouth, and the feast celebrated that day was tenuous. The real story behind the holiday is so dark, in fact, that some people are rethinking how they celebrate the holiday or whether they should at all. Now, okay, we're going to continue, then I'm going to say my piece. Because you know what? Maybe what I'm going to say is included in this article. As you could tell, I wasn't prepared to do a Thanksgiving video, per se. So I haven't read this thing through. So anyway, let's continue here. The Plymouth Thanksgiving of 1621 wasn't the first. Settlers in Berkeley Hundred in what is now Virginia celebrated their annual with a Thanksgiving as far back as 1619, according to good old National Geographic. But the Washingtonian reported the meal was probably a little more than some oysters and hams thrown together. Decades before that, Spain settlers and members of the and I do apologize, I should be putting some respect on these tribes' names, but as everybody's names, I suck at names, so please don't take any offense. Seloy tribe broke bread in Florida with salted pork, garbanzo beans, and maize in 1565, according to National Park Services. Our modern definition of Thanksgiving revolves around eating turkey, but that was one of an occasion for religious observations in past centuries. The Pilgrims would most likely consider their sober 1623 day of prayer the first annual Thanksgiving, according to History of Massachusetts blog. Okay, so they don't know when the first Thanksgiving really was, it looks like. It looks like there's different versions of it. It's the same thing like with religion. There's different aspects of religion and there's different sort of gods. But when you really look at it, they kind of intertwine and they kind of have the same or similar aspects. Like if you look at Hinduism or if you look at the Muslim religion or if you look at even Christianity, if you really look in depth, and I'm not trying to be too religious here. If you really look in depth, there are certain aspects of, say, the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu holy book. There is a little bit of similarities between all of them. So when you're all fighting about religion and who's the top religion, they're all pretty much the same when you really look at it. So you're all fighting for no damn reason. But anyway, let's continue. Let's keep on with the Thanksgiving festivities. I just had to point that out there. Other pinpoint 1637 as a true origin of Thanksgiving, since Massachusetts Bay Colony Governor John Withrow declared a day of celebrate colonial soldiers who just slaughter. Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously? Oh boy, we're getting to the doom and gloom part like halfway through the article here. I'm gonna have to reword this now. Okay, anyway. So declare a day to celebrate colonial soldiers who have just deleted hundreds of Pegut men, women, and children in what is now Mystic, Connecticut.
Bruh.
Ah, boy. Regardless, the popular telling of the initial harvest festival who lived on thanks to Abraham Lincoln. Good old Abe. Good old Abe. Shout out to Abe, wherever you are. But, you know, Abe is this here, so shout out to him. There we go. So, there we go. So, where are we here? So, the enduring holiday has nearly erased from our collective memories on what between the... So, there's another tribe here. Oh, sorry, my mouse just jumped here. Wampanoag, and the English just a generation later. So, this is the first Thanksgiving here, it looks like. You do see some of the natives just chilling here. So the Thanksgiving peace didn't last. Does any peace ever last? Like, you guys can't be happy, can you? When there's peace and tranquility, someone always has to go and spoil it. So, I'm really butchering a lot of these names. I do apologize. I'm not putting respect on these names, but I suck at names. Massasoit, the Wampanoag paramount chief, allied with the English settlers after Plymouth was established and fought with the newcomers against the French and other local tribes. But the alliance became strained over time. And obviously, I don't even have to read on to find out what the strain was, because obviously, when you have two people that are allying against each other, one usually wants to overpower the other. It's common sense, it's human behavior. Somebody always has an ego and they want to be on top. I assuming that's what it is. So continuing. As thousands more English colonists moved to Plymouth, taking over more land, authorities asserted control over the most aspects of, there you go. See? There. Shout out to me. I knew it. I knew it. So basically what these colonists were, these colonizer people, they basically wanted to change the aspect of these native lives. Obviously, I knew that was coming. So authority is asserted over control over most aspects of Wapatog life, according to the book historian. Okay. A study published in the Journal of Science Reviews estimated that disease had already reduced the New England indigenous population by 90% by 1620. Wow. So these poor natives were living peacefully, not bothering anybody. The turkey was probably still alive. Turkeys were safe. And it looks like these settlers came over and brought good old disease. And I guarantee they were probably smashing some of these women. And that's where the diseases probably came from. Ah, boy. The Wampanoag, I really suck at these names, continued to delete from what the colonists called Indian fever, an unknown disease brought by early European settlers. Oh, boy. I got a lot more here. We got quite a bit here. So sit back, guys. You could probably have your turkey while you're or have some hors d'oeuvres while you're watching the video here because your turkey ain't done yet. Or you can just bask and look at mine. Yeah, mine smells good. Anyway, continuing. Okay, so where am I here? There we go. By the time Mascot's son, why can't people have simple names? Metacomet, okay, at least I can pronounce that one, who was known to the English as King Philip, inherited leadership. Relations had frayed. His men were executed or deleted for the murder or the deletion of Pugapau interpreter and Christian convert John Sassamon, sparkling King Philip's War. Wow. So there's a lot of drama going on here. It is definitely different from what you see here, isn't it? Sad. Wampanoag's warriors responded with raids, and the New England Confederation of Colonies declared, hopefully I can say war, because I know YouTube's sensitive. YouTube, we are doing history here, so we're not doing no hate speech. In 1675, the war was bloody and devastating. Oh, boy. Okay, so let's see. Wow. So apparently the professor said that the deletion toll could have been up to 30% of the English population and half of the Native Americans in New England. Wow, yay. Whew. Again, definitely different from this living in harmony. Metacomet was beheaded and dismembered according to, it happened in Rhode Island, and colonists impaled his, I hope you guys are not eating here. I'm trying to keep this clean at the same time because I know you guys are probably eating. And also clean for YouTube because I don't want this video demonetized. They impaled his noggin on a stake to display for 25 years. So I'm guessing they had that there as a warning. The war was just one of the series of brutal but dimly remembered early conflicts between Native Americans and colonists of New England, New York, and Virginia. The holiday dark past has some people rethinking Thanksgiving. The focus on racial justice in the U.S. and some people saying that the reevaluation of the meaning and celebration of Thanksgiving is long overdue. And you know what? Honestly, I kind of understand what they're saying, because it seems like they're celebrating and kind of making a mockery of all the people that, got deleted. I understand that. But you know what? The problem is, and let me go full screen here. We're going to go full screen here, and we're not going to include the turkey. We're going to have coffee here. Like, I understand, obviously, it's I'm shocked. But you know what? That's how wars are. And we as humans made a lot of mistakes in the past. A lot. But hopefully, we as human beings learn from them. And the thing I've always expressed is that people make mistakes, and the biggest mistake is not learning from that mistake. Now, we've had some similar events here in Canada where people found out about certain events that happen and the truth about it, and they want to get rid of it, which I don't agree with. Like, there was one incident here where they wanted to actually change, they wanted to change the name of a street here. It was Dundas, because apparently it had a not so good past. And of course, Ryerson University, I don't know if you guys probably heard it there in the US, but the actual name Ryerson had a very, very bad past, and they ended up changing the name of the school. And of course, you guys in the US, there's been monuments that have been taken down in regards to, slavery and whatnot, which I get that. But the thing is, though, how can you learn to be a better person from the past if you end up replacing the past or pretending the past never existed? In order to learn from something, you have to see and remember past mistakes. Now, if you're going to go around and decide, hey, you know what? We're going to erase this from history. We're going to say, you know what? It never happened. And that way, future generations, our children and our children's children, by the time they get to a certain, generation, they're not going to remember because it's not going to be in the history books anymore. How can you learn from it? We need to learn. And I'm speaking seriously. I'm speaking from the heart here. Now, I know people died. People die every day. Wars, I hate wars. I hate fighting. I hate all this stuff. You know what? I wish that things could actually, I thought I was off full screen. Sorry, guys. Honestly, I wish things could be like this, where everybody's helping each other and what our children learn. I wish things were like this. You see, look, you have the meeting of the minds. You have people helping people. I would love our society to be like this. But unfortunately, as long as there's greed in our world, as long as there's greed and there's some sort of hate, or if there's some sort of somebody that wants to be on top, they want to be number one, this is never going to be happening. There's always going to be somebody that comes out and says, you know what? I'm the dominant one. Now, that being said, the only way we can learn from our past is embrace our past, and that way we don't make the same mistakes in the future. And again, I get what they're trying to do here. I get it. They don't want to celebrate a holiday that is based on deletion and massacres and whatnot. I understand that. But the only way to actually learn and to appreciate what you have now, the only way to do that is to leave the past the way it is. Now, when people, and I guarantee this, majority of you out there, and I'm talking about Americans and Canadians, because we all have Thanksgivings. We both have Thanksgivings. Celebrate at different times, but we both have Thanksgivings. I guarantee when you get around with your family for the holidays, you don't sit there and say, you know what? These many people got deleted. Of course not. You sit there and you appreciate what you have, the freedoms that you have. And of course, you do think in the back of your mind the people that sacrificed in order for you to have the things that you have now today, to have food on the table, to be able to speak your mind. Well, you know, most of us could speak our mind. Too bad Kanye can't. But anyway, that is what it is. But that being said, we do have somewhat freedom of speech. We still have YouTube, of course. We're able to speak our minds. You do have to speak in code sometimes, but anyway, you know, it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, we're able to speak our minds. We're able to walk outside without worrying we're going to get deleted. Well, not as much as before. I'm trying to go for something nice here, guys. Bear with me. But what I'm trying to say is that there was a lot of sacrifices in the past that allow us to live the way we are able to live today. And that's what really the holidays are for. You appreciate what you have. Now, in order to do that, to erase and to bring up all this stuff, yes, of course we should know what is really behind a holiday. But to stop celebrating a holiday and to basically start erasing history one by one by one by one, what are we going to have left to learn from? Nothing. We're not going to have anything to refer to. If we were up to some people, the history books would be burnt and we wouldn't know what is what. What is what? We wouldn't know. Like me personally, I would rather know what is going on, what happened in the past. I say a prayer. Shout out to Cheest or whoever you pray to. You appreciate what you have and you keep it moving. But that's my take. But let's continue with the article here. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant. But the issue is that, you know, rethinking a holiday, I get it. I get it. It doesn't seem right. But it depends on the way you think about it as a human. The way you think of it. The way you want to spend it. Like, I'll give you an example with Christmas. Some people don't celebrate Christmas. I know a lot of religions don't celebrate Christmas. A lot of religions don't celebrate Hanukkah. But they make do. They celebrate in their own way. That's what we can actually do with this holiday. Like, we associate Thanksgiving with turkey. We associate it with food. We don't associate it with violence. Anyway, let's continue with the article. Sorry for the rant, but I just had to bring it up. Now, let's continue. Where are we? Okay, long overdue. Here we go. Teachers, professors, and Native Americans told New York Times in 2020 that they were rethinking the holiday that marginalized the U.S. violence and cruelty against Native Americans, giving the names Takesgiving. What? Takesgiving and the Thanksgiving. Wrong button. Jesus Christ. What? Anyway. And reflections on Thanksgiving is now not new. According to the New York Post, the United American Indians of New England have now publicly mourning Thanksgiving for decades. Okay, so they're trying. Frank James, an a Native individual activist. I'm going to stop trying to pronounce these names because I don't want to disrespect these names. And I'm just going to say native individual. Now, I hope none of my native individuals have any think I'm disrespecting their tribe. I just can't pronounce it. I suck. Okay, who helped establish the National Day of Mourning in 1970 called the WAPA, Native Welcoming of the Inland Sarahs, perhaps the biggest mistake National Post reported. On the National Day of Mourning, Native Americans gathered at Plymouth, Massachusetts for a day of remembrance for millions of indigenous people who were deleted by European colonists. Prayers and speeches take place accompanied by beating of drums before participants march through the Plymouth Historic District. Participants of the National Day of Mourning honored Native ancestors and the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. And you know what? That's the thing too. Natives have struggled for, the way I see it, decades and decades, and not only in the U.S., here as well. Like, they are the first people here, and they should be respected. And a lot of times they're not, which is quite sad. But anyway, continuing. Okay, where am I? Participants of the mourning and ancestors struggle with Native and to survive today, and commemorating the Black Hill. And I'm here. Sorry. It is the day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. And that's it. Okay. And then we got a video here. I wonder if this actually has to. Let's see if this actually has to do with the article. Yeah, this doesn't have to do with the article. We don't need to see that. I don't want to see these poor turkeys. We're gonna leave them be. We're gonna have respect for the turkeys now. We don't want to see that. So here's the funny thing. I actually thought this article was quite interesting as well. So this actually had to do with Thanksgiving turkeys. So you always associate it, like I said, turkeys with Thanksgiving. But was that really the first Thanksgiving meal? So the History Channel here apparently came over with an article. Shout out to the History Channel. Let's get into the article here. For many Americans, Thanksgiving includes meals which include seasonal dishes such as roast turkey with stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie, which I have on my plate here. Shout out to me. Anyway, continuing. The holiday dates back to 1621 of November, when newly arrived pilgrims and the native gathered at Plymouth for an autumn harvest feast, an event regarded in the Americans' first Thanksgiving, but it's really on the menu. Okay, this is what I want to read. But what's really on the menu for the famous banquet, which is today's time-honored favorites, didn't earn a place at the table until later in the holidays. 400-year history. Let's get into the Thanksgiving turkey here. While no record exists of the exact bill of fare, the pilgrim Edward Winslow noted in his journal that the colony's governor sent 4 men on a fowling mission in preparation for the 3-day event. So apparently back then, it looks like Thanksgiving was not just one day. And fowling, you would assume it's turkey, but it could be, that being said, it could be any sort of bird, if you really look at it. Our harvest is being gotten in. Our governor sent 4 men fowling so that we might, after a special manner, rejoice together after we have gathered the fruits of our labors. They 4 in one day deleted as much fowl as with the little help besides served as the company of almost a week. Okay, so they're saying bird now. So fowl, bird, most likely it's turkey. And on Plymouth Plantation, Branford's famous account of the founding of Plymouth Colony, he remarked of the fall harvest that so let me see. Oh, there we go. There was a great store of wild turkeys. So there we go. We have turkeys here, ladies and gentlemen. So we had turkeys, of which they took many besides vegetarian and domestic. Turkey was indeed plentiful of the region, with the common for aborts and settlers and but here's the thing too. But it is just likely that the fowling party returned with other birds we know the colonists regularly consume, such as duck, geese, and swans. Instead of bread, best stuffing, herbs, onions, or nuts, they may have added to the birds for extra flavor. So that actually looks like where stuffing came from. But it looks like it wasn't only turkeys. It could have been duck, geese, and swans as well. So again, could have been any kind of bird. So turkey or no turkey, the first Thanksgiving attendees almost certainly got their fill of meat. Winslow wrote that the natives arrived with an offering of 5 deer. So there was some deer as well. And so they would do a roast deer, smoldering fire. Okay. And they also whipped up a healthy stew. So it looks like there was actually some vegetables as well. So in 1621 Thanksgiving, celebration of the Pilgrims' first autumn harvest. So the feast on reaped the help of the Native Americans. Local vegetables that likely appeared on the table included onions, beans, lettuce, spinach, cabbage, carrots, and perhaps peas. Corn, which records show was plentiful for the first harvest, might have also been served, but not most people enjoyed it as of now. So I probably didn't like corn too much. I guess they didn't have butter back then. In those days, corn would have been removed from the cob and turned into cornmeal, which was then boiled and pounded into a thick mush or porridge, which was occasionally sweetened with molasses. Interesting. So fruits indigenous to the region included blueberries, plums, grapes, gooseberries, raspberries, and of course cranberries, which Native Americans ate and used as natural dye. Interesting. So the Pilgrims might have been familiar with cranberries by the first Thanksgiving, but they wouldn't have made sauces and relishes and tarts. And okay, so that's where the cranberries came from, it looks like. And because of lack of sugar, they were okay. What do we got here? Oh, okay, we got quite a bit here, so we're learning here, guys. So that's where turkeys and cranberries came from. So it looks like there was also some fish and shellfish. So historians believe that much of the Thanksgiving meal consisted of seafood, which is often absent from today's menus. Mussels in particular were abundant in New England. And I actually heard New England, even today, they have a lot of seafood there. I think they're actually known for it, as well as the Patriots. Shout out to the Patriots. Round of applause for the Patriots. Too bad they ain't got Tom Brady no more. But anyway, they're still good. Okay, continuing. And could be easily harvested because of the clunk of rock along the shoreline. Colonists occasionally serve mussels with curds, a dairy product with similar consistency of cottage cheese, lobster, bass, claws. So this looks like seafood could have also been at Thanksgiving. Huh. Oysters brought by Indians. Okay, anyway, so we got potatoes here as well. So whether mashed or roasted, white or sweet potatoes had no place at the first Thanksgiving. Oh. After encountering the South Native American, the Spanish began introducing potatoes to the Europeans in 1570. But by the time Pilgrims boarded the Mayflower, the tuber near doubled back to America's northern. So apparently, there was no mashed potatoes. Okay, so that should be missing from my plate there. And it says right here, okay, pumpkin pie. Both Pilgrims and member of the ate pumpkins and other squashes indigenous to the region, possibly in harvest, but not finished in colony. And lack the butter and the wheat necessary. Oh, okay, there we go. So there we go. I was talking about corn and not having butter. It actually states right here as well. So there was no pumpkin pie. There was no pumpkin pie. They enjoyed the pumpkin, but it actually says right here, it says the colony lacked the butter and wheat flour necessary for making a pie crust. Moreover, settlers haven't yet constructed an oven for baking. According to some accounts, early English settlers and North American prize. Okay, so yeah, there was no pumpkin pie there, ladies and gentlemen. So there was no pie. And so it says who attended the first Thanksgiving. And we already know this part already. So there was about 90 men. In fact, okay. Interesting. So, wow. Okay, hold on a second. So, preceding winter has been harsh for the colonists. 70% of the women who traveled on the Mayflower had perished that winter, leaving only 50 colonists to attend the first Thanksgiving. According to eyewitnesses, I don't know where they got the eyewitnesses from. Or actually, I actually wanted this. Eyewitnesses? This was like from like 400 years ago. Where the hell are you going to get eyewitnesses from? I haven't seen anybody live past 112. Anyway, continuing. So, according to eyewitnesses' accounts, which makes no sense to me, among the pilgrims, there was 22 men, just 4 women, and 25 children and teenagers. Wow. And what is this here? Is this the... Oh, this is like... Okay, this is what I get apparently the first Thanksgiving look like? Interesting. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what your turkey looked like. That's what your Thanksgiving dinner was. You had no pumpkin pie. You had no butter for your corn. But you did have some fruits and vegetables, which is good. And you may have had seafood. So that's what's missing from my plate here. But anyway, wow, interesting. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go full screen for the last time here. Now, I understand the whole concept of Thanksgiving. It is surrounded by not so nice events. I get that. And we all don't want to look at our past or celebrate something that was so detrimental and so just wrong. Like, people shouldn't have been deleted. We all honestly want holidays to be like this. We all want this. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, but having to delete a holiday and erase the past just so you can have a future like this, it's not going to have as much meaning, because when you see this and you think about what people went through in the past to get to this, you kind of appreciate it a little bit more, but that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. But sometimes you have to go through hardships in order to appreciate what you have. And in regards to Thanksgiving, I still think it has to do with being with your loved ones and appreciating what you have. Like these guys here, look, they only had some corn and these guys had like nothing, but still, they worked with what they had. They appreciated what they had, which I think is lacking from society. We all think about what we want, but forget about and appreciate what we have. Good health, if we have good health, that we're still alive, we're still able to walk, we're still able to breathe. Like, we sometimes forget about that. And if we have family, we sometimes forget about our family, which I think is what holidays are for. But anyway, that's just me. I'm not trying to be mushy here. But yeah, can we actually learn from our past mistakes? I believe we can. Because look the way Thanksgiving is today. Like here, people are celebrating. People are happy. Unfortunately, we had to go through hardships, but we're able to appreciate what we have today. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode. I just thought I'd do something a little bit different for you guys. And shout out to everybody in the U.S. There we go. I'm going to have your flag there for today. But yeah, make sure you enjoy your Thanksgiving. I'm definitely going to enjoy my turkey here. Yep. But it would have been nice if I had somebody to spend this with. It would have been nice. Sherry, you're back. Yay. Okay, it looks like I could ash turkey with her and maybe have a little dessert later. Listen, I had no choice, okay? You know what? I made it way too easy for myself.
How dare you?
Anyway, guys, make sure you enjoy your Thanksgiving. We'll be back tomorrow with our regularly scheduled program. Shout out to everybody on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for joining me while you're waiting for your turkey or your roasted ham or whatever delectables you're going to have tonight. You're probably going to eat all that food and going to have to unbutton your pants after and have that gut hang out. But that's okay. It's once a year. Enjoy yourself. And of course, shout out to our sponsor again, RedpillCanuck.com, our Red Pill Canuck Daily Pill, where we get all our news articles and all that fun stuff. That being said, make sure you hit the like button on the way out and subscribe if you hadn't already. And I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. And your boy's going to go take a nap now. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. And to check out our more recent uploads, check here on the top left. And to check out our playlist, check here on the top right. And make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And also check out our Quick Hits channel, which is also located down below for our more bite-sizable content. I'll see you guys in the next one.